Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So here I am sitting in the woods. It's the second to last day of July and I just wanted to talk on Puerto Rico, seeing as a lot of people have been asking on our channel about that. My dad comes from a family of people who are Puerto Rican nationalists, so my opinions of the island and the politics that have gone on in the past and Puerto Ricans' involvement with the US government is very much framed by a nationalist point of view. And I know that many people think that this is a minority view now, that most Puerto Ricans think that Puerto Rico should be a state of the US and just completely become part of the United States, but there are a number of reasons why I disagree. The first reason is just because of the history of brutality that the United States has put on Puerto Rico. So if you read back in the history books, you'll realize that there has been generational disrespect shown to a lot of Puerto Rican citizens. The United States moved a lot of factories down to Puerto Rico, and then when it became not prosperous anymore, just pulled those businesses back out of the island and left millions of people unemployed. I also think that the US uses Puerto Rico as a tourist stop, but doesn't put in a lot. And I'm going to speak from personal experience. After Hurricane Maria, I went down to Puerto Rico and saw firsthand, almost a year later after the hurricane, how much damage was still there and how many people were living outside of their houses, people without clean water. The school system was half down, and still today my friends and family who I talk to in Puerto Rico tell me about the basically permanent effects that the hurricane put on, and then the subsequent earthquakes put on the island. So the current goings on have led me even more to think that for Puerto Rico to be prosperous economically, on the political stage, in every way, I think the best would be if the island would become its own nation. I know that this would probably mean a lot of suffering, maybe initially financially for people, but I don't think what I've seen from the United States convinces me that just staying as basically a colony, as a commonwealth, is helping the island. So those are my initial thoughts on it, and please let me know what you think about Puerto Rico, if you've ever been there, if you think there are things that could happen with the island as a commonwealth that could help the people. But I definitely could do some more videos talking more specifically about my ideas, but those are my basic ideas. I think Puerto Rico should be its own nation, and Puerto Ricans should receive citizenship. Oh, and also, before I end, people who are residents of the island of Puerto Rico cannot vote in American elections, which is essentially taxation without representation, because Puerto Ricans are not able to be represented because they can't vote in our federal government in the United States, but are taxed. So those are my thoughts, and have a good day.